Our team so back, of course, talk about some, hopefully, FF7 in this case. So there's a rumor out there currently of an upcoming state of play from Sony, of course, within the next month or so, like March at the latest, potentially sooner. According to Jeff Grubb on his Game Mess podcast. Specifically, he says, a state of play should be happening in the next few weeks to month. In that range, next few weeks to a month, we should see a state of play. At least that's the current plan right now. These things have shifted before. Now, according to him, if you actually watch the podcast at about like an hour and 9 minutes into it, he talks about the state of play or the rumored state of play or whatever. But he says that it's going to be like a little bit low key, but that's mostly because they're planning a bigger event, like a PlayStation showcase sometime around E3, so around June or so, sometime within the summer. They want to do like a bigger presentation for PlayStation. So the state of play is still interesting. It's exciting. We haven't had a state of play since I think September of last year. So they're still like looking forward to it. And there still could be like interesting or big reveals at a state of play. But obviously if they're gearing up for a PlayStation showcase, that's where they want to show like the really important stuff, whatever that might be. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this. We didn't get a PlayStation showcase last year, right? Like it was supposed to happen like later in the year. I think they usually happen around like fall or so. But according to like different sources, it kind of varies what the reason was. Like some of it's like the devs couldn't get assets together to like make a PlayStation showcase, so they opted for like a state of play. But also I've seen it like reported that they didn't do one because of like the Microsoft-Activision merger and they're still waiting on that for some reason. So I don't know what the truth is of it, but we haven't had a showcase, I believe, since 2021. Now, when it comes to a state of play or a PlayStation showcase, there's obviously like a lot of games out there that could be at either one of these. You have Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16, FF7 Rebirth, Silent Hill 2 Remake, The Last of Us Factions, which I'm looking forward to, Death Stranding 2, whatever that Wolverine game is, that's supposed to be PlayStation exclusive, I think, and Horizon Zero Dawn, like, remake or something? Remaster? I can't remember what it was. Like something weird with Horizon Zero Dawn. And there's probably a shit ton of the games I'm not thinking of. Those are just kind of off the top of the head. Now, as a video game fan, I'm interested in pretty much all of those, but as it pertains to the channel, of course, we're looking at 16, we're looking at 7 Rebirth. 16 is a good candidate for either one of those events, of course, because the game's dropping in summer. So if you're going to do like some other trailer for 16, I don't know if you'd want to do it at a state of play, which is kind of low-key, apparently, or if you'd save it for like some big showcase, maybe like a big gameplay showcase, potentially. So they might wait till then, probably. And to be honest, I think like a good gameplay show is really all we're missing. Now, we've seen plenty of gameplay throughout like the 4 or 5 trailers, whatever we've had for 16. But like I think a really good showcase of the gameplay, like what you're doing in the world, traversing the world, combat, maybe like the shit you do outside of combat, like within the world. Is there like, I don't know, mini games? Is there like you collect stuff throughout the world or whatever the fuck, right? Like, something along those lines. Like, what are we doing besides fighting within Final Fantasy 16? Now, when it comes to 7 Rebirth, like, we've been hopeful for a while of another trailer ever since the reveal summer 2022, but it's yet to happen. And we've already gotten past, like, the Japanese anniversary date, right? The January 31st, the 26th anniversary of the game, and they didn't give us anything. So at this point, I'm a little hesitant to say whether or not we would even get something for Rebirth. Maybe they would do it for like the PlayStation Showcase, which is during the summer. It's close to 16's release, so it wouldn't really be impacting 16, even though it's not going to anyways. They could literally be talking about Rebirth this entire time alongside 16, and it would not affect one or the other, because people are going to get them both. If you're a Final Fantasy fan, you're picking up the new numbered entry, and if you're an FF7 fan or Final Fantasy fan, you're probably picking up Rebirth as well. I get why they don't really market them side by side, but all the same, like, they would do fantastic regardless. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to get a Rebirth really like showcase of any kind until maybe after 16, because that's what it's kind of gearing up and looking like, because we just haven't heard or seen anything for the game since the reveal. As well as the video, my dudes, not a whole lot to talk about or break down here. Try and get this video done and recorded before the Super Bowl actually starts. Your boy likes to eat some pizza, drink some beer, and watch some dudes smash into each other. But sometime soon, within the next month or so, we should have a state of play, unless it's been delayed, pushed back, or canceled, or whatever the fuck, according to Jeff Grubb. But also sometime down the road, around summer, around June or so, we should have an actual big PlayStation showcase, which we haven't had for quite a while at this point. So what are your thoughts? We think we're going to see Final Fantasy 16, I think, is more or less kind of a given since it is a PlayStation exclusive game, but which event it would be at, I'm not entirely sure. I've leaned more towards the actual showcase. But in terms of Rebirth, we know we talk about this a lot off and on throughout videos and stuff, but do you expect to ever see anything Rebirth before 16 actually releases? Because it's seeming like we're not going to. There's still a lot of time, though. We still have several months before 16 drops, but it's just, we ain't had shit. It's been a long time now. That's the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Social networks in the description below. Follow me for tlou. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Logain, or leave it like Cobain.